Nuts. We are live. Hold on a
Yes.
second. Roll my sleeves up. Get ready for a fight. Not really, but you disappeared on your cup.
Oh, did I?
Wait, I gotta.
Oh yeah, I did.
Sam
My
always.
bug.
Some people like to save all the drinking.
Yeah, it's funny. Like some of the edits there, it's compromised in hilarious positions.
Yeah, I stopped eating it. I try and stop eating at 7, so I try and survive off of like caffeine-free Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
Anyways, nobody cares. It's been a while. September is a blitzkrieg of a month when you have kids and sports and
football season.
I know, dude, I love football. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's been a few nights where I wanted to talk about stuff financially interesting topics, and then I'm just like not competing with the NFL. I just don't like. So I'm like, I have Tuesday, Wednesdays, and maybe a Friday. That's about it. Otherwise, I'm watching football. I gamble a lot on football. So I'm not a gambling. Well, kind of all gambling, isn't it? I don't know. Doing pretty good. So for people that nobody cares, but my survivor pool. So there were 3,000 people to start. I only play one survivor pool for now. I might play more, but it's 3,000 people, give or take. And it's like $25 entry. So you can do the math, how much money's on the line. So this year's been nuts, like so many upsets. So 3,000 is down to 124 and I'm still in it. So I'm excited. So it's like $63,000. I have two teams in it still, actually. So
hey,
I had 3. One of my teams got knocked out, but I love Survivor. It's like my favorite thing. I don't really do fantasy anymore. I don't know. I only have so much brain power. So I do Survivor, and then I do prop bets on FanDuel. Caesars has great promotions, but I like FanDuel's interface more in my state. I only have like 4 choices in New York for online. So it is what it is. So I do not have ESPN bets. That is not in New York. And Barstool never made. I knew Barstool would never get into the state. Their gambling app. There was no effing way. New York doesn't play around with that stuff. So anyways, so that's exciting. So that big money there. I've done pretty well. I think I've won 5 of 7 bets on football so far. So I always start off slow, get a feel for the teams and injuries. So we'll see. Who is here? We got Gil.
Fair amount of people. Yeah.
I've started accumulating Boeing. Good turnaround. We're going to talk about Boeing. It is interesting. Oh, yes. It's hard to find interesting. Like I've kind of talked to Bacon about my dilemma and in the group chat. Just like a lot of my stocks are at all-time highs. It's really, it's not even bragging. It's just McDonald's, Tran, Carrier. What else? Just Tractor Supply. I mean, it's just like I don't necessarily want new positions. Everything's pretty high right now. My dividend ETF is kind of uninteresting to buy. So I'm just like, this is a tough time. This is a little bit of a tough time. That's kind of why maybe the shorting stuff has been kind of more interesting recently. But what's not, what it has been working is our cabinet company. It's ours. Well, it's mine. You kind of you haven't decided what side you're on. But.
Oh no! By allocation, it's cabinet company for sure. Like for those that aren't aware, it was like when it comes to the broad umbrella that is housing, Fabio has his champion and you have yours, and I picked both, but I'm more allocated the cabinet co. Good old master brands, because I like just when you look at the businesses, you're depending on how you're hardwired and how much you've studied up on, you can grasp one far better than the other. They're very different companies. And the other is, like you've mentioned before, the touch points. Master Brands doesn't necessarily need new housing to be really cool. It touches, other touch points. So
I've never really, I don't think I would invest in the home builders.
Yeah.
concerned about them. I would trade like like short-term investments in them, maybe like based on situations, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would feel comfortable with the new home builders long term. I'd rather be in the business of like supplying the housing industry. So that's just me. What else? So my survivor pool is going well, and then what else has happened recently? Oh, silly me! How'd that? Go? I'm sorry. That was not intentional. So I did a brewery tour
Oh,
last weekend.
that's
So
fun.
oh, actually, I'm wearing the same shirt. How about that?
Hey, microbrewery or like a
They're not
large
very
regional?
micro. They're a pretty
Oh,
big
okay.
operator.
Ah,
Yeah, so I got in. I don't want to say how. I got in though. But they're pretty big. They're like a regional operator. This is like behind them, that's one of their operations, and it goes to the right. It's like 4 times bigger than what you see in the photo.
mm,
But it's so cool to like see how these things actually are like produce beer on a mass scale. They also have like the whiskey casks and and sherry that they put in some of the beers that was behind me, or it would have been in front of me in this photo. And then he talked about how they ferment. So they basically, I don't want to get too much in this, but they create like a sugary slurry. They cook it, then they take that sugary slurry, and he's like, it's kind of the same for every type of alcohol. And then you put it in a tank. And I didn't realize it takes like 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what kind of beer you're making. And there's multiple types of yeast. I learned that it's not just
oh,
one type of yeast. He said
yeah.
there's lager yeast and there's different types of yeast for the beers. And then they showed like they really do put like well, this company, like if it's orange flavor, like they put orange in the beer when it's fermenting. It's not like they put like liquid smoke. They don't put like liquid orange in it. Like they put the real product. And then they have a way to sift the beer out when they're canning it so that the sediments and the stuff are like solids don't get into it, and they're watching it. It's really cool to look at how it works out. This is the canner right behind me. That's how they can their beer. They don't do bottling. I don't think microbreweries really do bottles. I asked. He said it's just expensive.
Mm.
It's much cheaper for them to do bottle or aluminum cans. Just the process. So it was really cool. I had fun, and then it was Oktoberfest, so drank more. So here's the guy who was touring us. Uh, their whole system's computerized. So he's like the boss. They can literally, like, their boss can be out of the country monitoring their operation. Like, and then they can watch the tanks at night to make sure nothing, goes wrong. Because this is tens of thousands, who knows, hundreds of thousands of dollars in product. If it goes wrong, because it takes, it's cooking, right? No one's there, and this stuff is still cooking. But very cool. This guy he was so dope. Got to talk to him after too. That was fun. So there's that. And then you can always just throw out your investor, intelligent investor. So other than that, okay, since we're talking about the intelligent investor, surely we should just go right to meet Kevin, right?
The most intelligent of all the intelligent investors.
We'll
I
see any
joke.
comments before we start. What's up,
Uh oh.
Ryan?
Uh oh.
New York's come on. New York's a sissy state. Talking shit. You're from Buffalo. Good God. Hello. I've been very well. Busy. Just busy. October, things get less busy. Yeah. Work, kids, sports, which I think basically I've been forcing them to play kids sports, but now I'm like, it's your time. They're at an age now.
Let's
So they're
pick
going
and
to get to
choose.
pick because now they've done like every kid sport. I'm like, they've been exposed to all of them. I'm like, now you guys can pick what you want to do. So
Yeah.
hopefully that won't be as many as there are now. But I'd say, I don't want to say which sport's the worst. Never mind. I'm going to make someone mad. Okay. I was going to do this last week, but got busy. So where is it? So this is the infamous tweet, which I know everyone covered it last week. Sell stocks. Take a vacation. Meet Kevin. And it's just like, when are we going to learn? Like, when I think looking at his comments, though, he does get blasted people are aware to some degree of who he is. I think like some of the shenanigans from very early COVID, I think people don't know. And it's like, I can't really prove it because he deleted all the evidence. I didn't save it. You'd have to look at like reaction videos from Echoes or Strongman 2 years ago. But so his game then was like investing in clownish, unprofitable trash companies, like that made no sense. Like they had unproven business models, like just this random hype stuff that went up for a while and then crashed. And then he tried to market time out and then market time back in, and he failed spectacularly, lost a lot of money. So anyways, so now he's still so sure when he's never really been able to market time this stuff. And now he's becoming like, I don't know, is he a perma bear or is he a perma crasher? Like, what is he at this point?
Macro bad timer. Like,
I know.
That's my guess. I'm not sure.
Just like, and there is a Sasha video I'm going to work on. I need time. I hope he didn't delete anything, that piece of garbage. But yeah, I don't think of him much highly either. He Mr. Fire emote thumbnail, doom and gloom. But this stuff gets views. Everyone keeps, and I've seen it in lots of Discord channels, that people want to talk about bubbles, this, bubbles, that. The fact that you're even thinking in bubble terms makes me wonder, like, what kind of investor you are. Like, are you going to be the guy? There's probably like 5 guys in the world that are going to predict the next recession, and you'll know them by name because we know the ones that did it in 07, 08. We know all of them. Are you going to be one of those people? I highly doubt it for these people watching me. So it's like, why even worry about it? And if you're long-term horizons and you're in companies that you are comfortable holding, it's not that concerning. Maybe you have a small clown account like I do. If it goes bust, then so be it. It's a clown account, but then you're intact still in companies that you believe in. They can handle things thrown at them, right? Adversity. So like I've never, and Kevin sold his account. I've lost 3 or 4 times now. He's sold his entire account and then bought back in. I've never done that in my entire investing career or journey, like 20 something years. I've never sold everything. I've never seen, I don't understand this idea. But it gets him eyeballs, and he makes money from subscriptions, not investing. It's been pretty proven at this point. He isn't like, he's invented. I've said this before, like Meet Kevin has invented this new type of trading that doesn't fucking work and can't work. It's like macro analysis day trading with charts. I've never seen anyone do this before. Like he'll talk about like a company, but then it's not really the company. His thesis is like macro surrounding this company. Then he'll go look at charts and draw lines. Like he's created this new type of investing that is like silly as hell. And he's failed. Like he's failing spectacularly doing this. Where's the one I've covered? Yeah, there was, remember, he had this in his group, right? So he posts this stuff in his private Discord community. This was when he tried to time a market crash in QQQ, I believe this summer. He thought he knew that it was coming. Big crash. This failed terribly. Lost a lot of money on this. Then there was this one, which I made fun of in another video. I knew this would fail when he did it. His thesis on Costco had nothing to do with Costco. It was like the macro wrapping around Costco made him think that he knew exactly when it would like crash. And then he was talking about it was like some sort of hedge on the market, which is just bullshit. Like there's not even something to debate here. Guys just making this stuff up because it's entertainment. And maybe people understand. Meet Kevin is entertaining you. He's a carnival barker. He's not making money investing. But here we go. I mean, this one just brought him to a whole nother level. Like this stupid shit. Sell your stocks. Sell your stocks. And then what happened the next day? Record highs. The market just rips. So like if you would listen to this man, you've been irreparably or you've been damaged. If you listen to him, this very specific instruction that he said, sell after the cuts, right, from JPAL last week. If you're damaged, you've lost money. So now the stocks have gone up. So what do you do now? if you say you had sold everything, do you buy back in now that the S&P's at all-time highs? Or are you going to tell me you're going to sit on the sidelines and wait till everything drops? Well, when is that? When is that? When do you go back in the market? This is just stupid shit. And then he compared, here we go. So everything's like macro with Kevin because he doesn't know how to buy companies and he doesn't know how to. I wish I had downloaded the videos where he did analysis on companies because it's clownish. And that was when I saw it back then in the day. He would cover like every type of, he must have Googled like every type of investing and his analysis covered all those bases. So he could like touch the most amount of people. It was like there was a technical analysis. He looked at the financials really quick. Then he did some sort of momentum analysis. Like he touched all the different pieces of what investing in a company is. And I clearly like he doesn't have a process. He's just throwing paint at the wall. So now it's like can he talk about macro? Sure. Does macro like he talked about matter? I don't think so. Like sometimes macro events slap your company in the face, but he's investing on macro, not the other way around, where you're looking at a company and how do macro events affect your company you're looking at. He's doing it the opposite way, which you're not going to perform well doing what he's doing. You're just not. Okay.
Yeah.
So then here we're going to compare our times today with the Fed rate cuts and what happened after in 2007. Like, I don't know, the Great Recession happened because of a housing collapse. The housing collapse that happened then cannot happen now because we changed the rules and regulations on mortgages. So what happened then could not happen again. So this is stupid as hell to even talk about what happened after 07, from 07, 09 and drawing comparisons. That can't happen. Something else could happen to the economy, but like that specific event, like they're way more stringent about mortgages now. Like giving mortgages to people. I had to, anybody listening, if you've gotten a mortgage, you've bent over backwards giving them documents now. So this literally won't happen again. Like some other fucking thing will cause a recession, but not this. So drawing any sort of comparison to what's happening today to 07 is nonsense. It's nonsense. Shame on him for doing this. And I feel because there are people that listen to him. We can't assume they're all laughing at him. People listen to this man and you've been damaged if you did what he said. Because that'd be my question. If someone had sold when he said to, how do you know when to buy back in? You're never going to know the answer to that. And they're, I'll wait till it dip in the market. When the market does dip, you're probably going to be too scared to buy back in is the truth. Because you're going to think it's going to get even worse. And if it does dip, say we had a 10% correction, you really think you're going to buy back in the market? You're going to be scared shitless, most people. You won't buy back in. You'll wait till it starts going up again. Then what was the point? What was the point? These people. I didn't even look at my long-term holdings during the rate cut era, during any of this. I don't care. It's more of the clown counts, the fun stuff. Did you sell everything?
No. Even with me being busy, even with me not like having as great of a finger on the pulse of things. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I don't really flee the markets. I'm like, people still go to McDonald's. Air conditioners are still being installed. What else? Computer chips are being made still. Like
any number of things. Yeah, like people still go out and do things. People still need things. Like
nobody even cared about rates until COVID.
Yeah.
This is funny. This never was a topic from like the Great Recession to COVID. I don't ever remember ever talking about or hearing or giving a shit about interest rates. But granted, they were going down the whole time, so that's probably why it wasn't a big deal.
Now, the funny thing also was I remember like people would at least somewhat include like money supply when it came to Fed decisions. You don't even hear that anymore. Like now it's like buried somewhere in the middle of an article if they talk about it at all as far as like any sort of journalism goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also a macro factor that clearly falls under the purview of the Federal Reserve. Like
I like how everyone's like, it was priced into the market, 50 basis point. Really? because everyone saw what happened to QQQ and SPY when they announced the rate cuts. Whew. Priced in? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
is priced in, people.
Like,
I should make that my like on my banner or my page. Nothing priced in, ever.
Because also like there's also an element of the Keynesian beauty contest where, like, okay, so we're aware that rate decision is going to be happening, but at some point, like, when is there enough, or when is it not enough to project future rate cuts?
Mhm.
It just makes me wonder. It's silly. It's is what it is.
What about Tickerson when you was telling people to sell on August 5th? Oh, did he?
Oh, well, that's
I
fun.
do not follow that guy.
Neither do I. But
What did he did the same thing as Meet Kevin? Jesus.
yeah,
These
yeah,
people like just have a core investment of like diversified indexes, like the core satellite. Like you
yeah.
should be mostly indexes, and
But,
then you won't get wrecked or worry about things when you're not looking. But
the true portfolio is the social media accounts.
the CHG is having a Swiss stock. Good for me, but no one cares. Oh, I should talk about that actually. I didn't put
Yeah,
that in the title.
future stuff.
Oh wait, is he gonna selling Facebook by the dip these growth stocks?
Ugh,
What is this? Oh no.
I don't even know.
Oh no. Wait,
Thanks,
Andy's
Andrew.
sending you something.
Yeah, he's sending the ticker symbol U related stuff.
Oh boy. So he okay, so Ether. It's a bunch of freaking tokens.
To-
Oof.
Tokens, Palantir, CrowdStrike. Kind of surprised Snowflake isn't in there at this rate.
So he sold all that, right? When everything was crashing in 22.
Maybe. Again, I don't know the guy all that much.
Oh no. Oh god. Oh wow, look at all these people in this. Okay, I have let's go forward. Appreciate it, guys. Oh, live. Okay. So we covered Kevin.
Yep.
Kevin's a clown. Okay.
Yep.
Look at okay. I haven't looked in a while.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, what is he holding? Because I saw Strongman's video where VT, it was so funny because like after the rate cut, VT was up as much as PP was down. It was like 1.7% up, and then PP was 1.7% down. And it was just like fucking hilarious. And then I'm like, what is in this bag of crap? And then I'm like, this is Kevin for people. Kevin is the portfolio manager of PP. It's not somebody. It's not some bro out in the woods, picking these. It's in the filing that I read. Kevin picks these holdings. So he's got treasuries, pricing power. I'm missing the pricing power. Like, what's the pricing power of money? Like a bond. Okay. Oh, Rocket Company. Okay, I know what he's doing. Okay, mortgage company, gold, shorting Bitcoin. Okay, he shorted Bitcoin probably because historically Bitcoin goes down on rate cuts. Which I have a very small play on that thesis too, but very small, just for fun. So he's playing on a clown thesis in with other people's money. Like I would never do this with other people's money. It's just would be fun for me. McDonald's. You're buying McDonald's at like near all-time highs because this must be new. I don't think he had. There's no way he had this before, is it?
No
You're buying
idea.
McDonald's at like all-time highs. I've said before, like you won't. The only reason you'd buy McDonald's is when they're doing terribly. Something really bad happens to them at this point, like a war. Uh, customers have had enough of friggin' price increases. Maybe I didn't even think that was a big enough cut to buy McDonald's, but freaking idiot. And then we can do we even need to compare it to like, should we compare it to the, you want to be a growth investor, people? I understand. Let's not compare things to the S&P because everyone wants to be, you want alpha, right? You want alpha. Okay. Here is a way you can generate alpha with a good risk return. So you want to be a growth investor. That's why I always compare SCHG. Like you're a growth investor. You got to beat SCHG because this is the king of growth investing, I think. Yeah, it's not doing so great. So he is half, give or take, of what SCHG does. Half in 1 year. I don't know if he has a 3-year. No, it's not. This hasn't been around that long. So you're getting nothing. Like, what's the point of this fund? But yeah, boy, Kevin. The other thing here. So here's stock performance at the onset of rate cutting cycles. So within the more recent looking back time frame, is there anything you can pull from this data? So 21% up, 10% down, 17% down. What are you going to pull from this? The question is, there is no answer to what happens to rate or what happens after rate cuts cycles start.
Yeah, volatility.
It's volatility. That's all I see here. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, and you're just flipping a coin to say which one it's going to be. Because right now, it's 50-50. But Kevin was so sure it was going to be down. So Kevin was probably, oh look, 07. He looked at this big ass drop. Like, okay, well, what about this one? What about this one? No. You pick the data that matches your narrative. That's what you do if you're Kevin. And then you sell people that with courses. Oh, what else do we get? Well, he is really Andrew. Wait, what? We didn't block somebody. We tarted dividends. Sorry if you blocked me. We did not block.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see their comments on the StreamYard thing.
So,
yeah. Even on the regular YouTube chat.
So there's that. Okay, next topic. We keep moving. I think Fabio is going to go live.
Yeah, but he's at the gym or is wrapping it up at the gym, so his live will be like later on.
Yeah,
I anticipate like
he'll earlier.
Yeah, he'll probably go live about hour mark or so.
The boss man. Okay, let's do Boeing.
Good old Boeing. So a lot of moving parts.
So before I saw 2 people, I think, said they bought Boeing. So I bought Boeing too.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I took my AGCO money and I converted it to Boeing. So yeah, I had enough of AGCO after about a year and a half. Actually, it might have been 2 years I held it. So I was ready to move on to a new adventure. So Boeing, I had promising. I wanted to see the new CEO. I understand company's in bad place. Everything's falling apart. They can't make planes. They can't even get people into space anymore. So, I mean, to me, like the space part was what made it kind of interesting because it was like the embarrassment of the space shuttle not being able to bring the astronauts back. And then right after that, they went right into a strike with labor. And the stock got I think it went from 170 to 152. And I'm like, all right, okay, I think this might be my moment. Because I did buy John Deere and when they were striking, and that turned out to be a pretty good short-term investment. What was that, 2 years ago now? It was more of a trade. So basically, from what I've read, I don't have like inside union on this. I get union newsletters, and they talked about this. So like 96 or 98% of the union voted for the strike. So powerful message. These are important things. So the union, they are very collectively organized, and they feel very strongly about this strike. So they feel like they've been wronged, I think, from what I've been reading. So Boeing comes out, and you're like, okay, this is the first, like, the new CEO's in place. So this is his, this is all him. He's not inheriting this problem. This is his baby now. So I'm like, what's he going to do? And people had positive thoughts for this guy. As soon as he gets in, Boeing just blasts through media that here's the offer we give you, take it or leave it. I'm like, what the okay? First of all, like I've been part of multiple labor negotiations in my union, right? I think four contracts since I've been in the union. Negotiations are behind doors. This stuff does not. They agree when the parties are working together. You do not divulge like negotiated. You come together and then you start talking about like what you want. You don't blast it over the freaking news media saying this is what you offered right away. That was strange. The other thing was so strange is Boeing didn't, and then it came out, I think yesterday, Boeing didn't even inform the leadership of the union what the deal was. They just blasted it to the media and emailed it directly to the machinists, what their offer was, which that's not how this stuff works. You negotiate, you have like a contract team, and the contract team from both sides talk, and they negotiate. Then it goes to the leadership of the union who decide whether normally, and then it goes to be voted on by the members. That's how these things work. So they decided to pretend the union didn't exist, and they just would send not even negotiate. That's how they would send a final offer to the union and just be like, take it or leave it by this Friday. That's it. Like, this is not negotiation. Are you kidding me? This is embarrassing. So doesn't mean I'm selling my stock. So don't worry about that. But this is terrible. This is terrible. Like, I don't know what Boeing is thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. Nope. Did anyone tell them that, these guys are serious? Over 90% agreed to strike. These guys aren't playing around in these machinists, and they haven't gotten good deals in the last, I think, while. So I think they're pissed. And they know that politically, I think the nation's on their side, given how much of a disaster Boeing has been. They're at a strong bargaining position, I think, and they know it. So they want to fight. And I've said before when we talked about the Writers Guild strike, and they did some crap to the Writers Guild too, the studios. They did some pretty nasty stuff. But I've said before, if a union is together and they don't break apart and they stick to their guns, they're undefeated. You're not going to defeat a union that stays together in these fights. Boeing is not going to win this. So all they're doing is burning money. So this is like really stupid of Boeing. And I don't know why they decided that this was the way they were going to deal with the union, to just bypass the leadership of the union from the start. So like, if I was in this union, even if I liked the deal, just the fact that they said screw you to my leadership of the union, like I would say I wouldn't, well, it wouldn't even come to me to vote, because that's not how these things work.
Yeah.
But like, for people that are outside a union, like, you're either part of the union or you're not. Like, you're not just in, and it's not just about money, right? It's about being part of a union organization. So it's not just about the dollars they put on the table. I would have been pissed if they circumvented the process like this, if it was my union. It's hurtful. So, and if you've never been in a union and you talk shit about unions, I think you're an asshole. There you go. And I think you should shut your mouth, because you don't know what you're talking about. And you're going to tell me that unions are corrupt. You're an idiot and you're a dirty liar. This is a union strong YouTube channel. They're jokes, people. So anyways, so they're fighting. Boeing's losing 50, 100 million. I've heard numbers like a day, because they can't produce 737 Maxes. They can still produce the Dreamliners at another facility on the East Coast that's non-unionized. So here we are. They could come to their senses and do the right thing and do this properly in a week or two. Or they could keep fighting and they're going to inevitably lose. So we will see.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned this lesson the hard way, that the short term, you shouldn't focus on the short term situations when you buy something like this. Don't get so focused on what the short term problems are. Like, same thing with TKO. Like, long term, do you see the vision of it turning around? And I do actually think I see it. I think this is just one of the first hurdles to turning the company around. And I think it'd be better to fight now about this than later, the union contract.
Oh yes, yeah.
And
If you're gonna get it done,
I think they could give up. I think they can give up funds to the union guys and pay them better. I think for the valuation of Boeing where it's at, they just got to start building planes. Like building planes, say the margin drops a bit, but they start building planes, right? They've got the orders there. They start spitting out the planes, no quality issues. The machinists are happy. Things just get back to normal with this company, and I think it'd be a good return. So,
out of
do they have
curiosity,
to do, like some people are? They've got to do. They don't have to perform spectacularly. Like
no.
I don't expect them to have better margins. They just have to perform the job of building a fucking plane and getting it out to the public. So can they do that in the next 2 years? This is kind of my horizon.
So double checking, because I've been on the sideline and haven't kept a finger on the Boeing pulse all that well. Their new CEO is was it Robert or Kelly Ortberg?
Yes.
What do you see from him as far as like any planning that you like? Because I'm intrigued by Boeing because it seems like the leadership is been shuffled around some. Uh,
So I was happy that because I told you I was
mhm,
terrified that they were going to pick like a retired airline executive to run this company. So that's why I was like, I'm not buying it until I know who the CEO is. Because I was willing to let that go with Disney because I thought Iger wasn't going anywhere for a while.
yeah.
But for here, I was like, oh, because I would not put it past them to just pick like some retired 68-year-old Delta executive to run this company. So I wanted to see it. And then also just the spaceship. I like buying into the K, like BTI, right? After they wrote off RJ Reynolds. Now I'm interested. So here, things can't be any. I think this actually, a plane could fall out of the sky at this point, but this is going to be very small for me though.
Oh, okay.
Position. This would
All right.
never. If you put more than 5% of your portfolio in Boeing, you're fucking crazy. You're insane to trust your life. I would almost trust Michael Saylor more than Boeing. I can't believe it. It would be close. I'd be thinking about it, but
So
that is a
all right.
small play. I mean,
Yeah.
this
Five
thing,
5%.
if they write the ship, this you could see a $250 stock.
Oh, sure. Oh,
So,
absolutely. That's not beyond the realm of possibility because, like, as much of the narrative and noise is scary and legitimately so in some cases. Uh, we can't forget this is a duopoly. Like in terms
yes.
of the global airframe
Oh
business,
yeah.
like what are we talking about? We're talking about them, Boeing, and Airbus, and
This is a moat.
yeah,
Like this is a moat of a moat. There's two companies in the world. I mean,
mhm,
there's also this Brazilian company, but they don't build. It's not really.
yeah,
It's really like it's really a duopoly.
yeah,
I know China wants to build their own planes. Good luck with that. Again, it's like
yeah,
so like yeah, this is a big time moat. Like and sometimes moats,
mhm,
get they're not always perfect. Doesn't mean a moat is the most rock solid investment always. Struggle bus here. So,
but
but he's got the background
mhm,
you would want for a guy running Boeing. I guess that's all we can ask for now. He's got to. I mean, he could write the ship on. He could come to his senses tomorrow and stop being an idiot about this union contract. Right? We don't know yet.
yeah,
So these things can change very fast. Like the Writers Guild seemed like it was in a death spiral, that strike, and then
yeah,
one day they had an agreement, and then it's over. So this is where I'm trying to like I don't think people don't worry about this. Like this will get resolved. Focus on, do you think will they turn it around? Our plane's going to start getting built without quality issues? Because this is like Intel was about the foundries. I'm like Boeing is just like, can they just start producing planes without problems? We'll see.
yeah.
But I did like one of the first things he did when he came in. Let's see if I can find a story. Boeing. I'm probably butchering it. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, the new, yeah.
So, did you know basically the first thing the new CEO did this was another reason I was a fan of him at first. He fired the fucking guy in charge of the defense and space unit, which, as he should have.
Yes.
That has been an embarrassing black eye on Boeing for many, many years at this point. The fact that they are just getting blown out of the water by SpaceX on their developments on that side. This and Boeing's defense business is very, very profitable. It was historically, it was a great business for Boeing. It kept them afloat when all these disasters were happening with the commercial airlines. But so first thing he did was fire this guy. Awesome. Like that was the statement you want to see at this troubled company. So, and then he's effing up the union stuff. But so we see rays of light here. Like, but people need to understand, like 2 years, you could hold this for 2 years, but could it double? That's usually my metric. Can I see this doubling? I do actually within a few years. There's also a scale where it doesn't, but this is kind of the fun part. I hope your 2x gains, Gil. Well,
yeah, BlackBerry talk from Gil.
Oh,
yeah, BB.
Okay. Doers or stock hack. Even the website is full. Ugh, yeah. Pull up my tweet showing his old one too. Wait, which old one?
It was in reference to Meet Kevin.
About which
the Meet Kevin tweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah, there was also a $2 super chat from We Tarded on dividends.
He did?
I guess so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get down to that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you also got scroll back up a little bit.
This one?
More. No, just one more. Or it was either that or the other one.
Is this one?
No, not sure.
So Fed 17 years ago, NASDAQ rallied 11%. Oh, maximum copy. Because when it went up afterwards, he's probably like, I need to find a reference to it's still going bad, but it went up temporarily. Then it crashed. Okay, Meet Kevin. Oh, I wonder what the comments are. Wait, what are the comments? Please stop. Either retire or just focus on news and real estate. So it's like, I don't think it is kind of a big joke now. Like people like he's just a freaking doofus real estate guy that wants to pretend he knows investing.
Yeah.
Just for people, like just because he can talk about macro stuff in a way that sounds like decent. Like he sounds knowledgeable, but he's not. It's all just a shoe shiner. It's like it's just crap. He can sell you anything though. He's like that can I sell me this pen? Like Meet Kevin could sell you that pen. I mean, yeah, but like he doesn't know shit about investing. Oh my god. You're okay, wrong. You're a real estate investor turned YouTuber. It's comical that you truly think you're an expert on the markets. Again, people, yeah, he just talks about macro. Okay, you're buying companies, right? I mean, unless you're some idiot that's day trading SPY and QQQ, I mean, you're stupid. You're just gambling. Then you can why don't you just do fantasy sports? Oh god, your entire rationale for this position is using past performance to predict future results. Econ 101. Yep. Irrational exuberance. Oh god. He's getting killed. I couldn't. I mean, this is like a court jester. You're embarrassing yourself for money.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would never do this. Like you can't. Like I don't know.
I'd have to be very well compensated.
Yeah. So it's like, how well would you have to compensate me to make myself for me to voluntarily make myself a joke, an embarrassment? I don't know. It would be a lot of money. I'd have to really think about it. So, this guy. All right. So back to Boeing, I guess.
Yes.
I guess so. We'll see. The turnaround. I'm not so concerned about the margins. Free cash flow. I think it's going to not be great for a while, but my metric is, can they start production increasing? and fulfilling orders, getting their backlog down. Quality, right? That's what I care about. So they are still putting a lot of money into the presidential campaigns. They know where to butter their bread, though. They're like the third highest donor to Trump or something, and they're like top 5 donors to both of them. So there's a reason why they moved their headquarters to Washington, D.C. But I think there might be something there as a small investment. Okay, let's see. Wait, remove. Okay, next topic. We got, I think, hold on. I guess just LVMH.
Between that and China stocks and Sofi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to speed up. Oh my god.
Yeah. And we also have We Tarted on dividends for $2. Great show, guys.
Oh, let me go down.
Yeah. It's under starred. If you wanted to quickly find it.
You get rid of that chat. Andrew's bad for your brand. He's a bigot. No, Andrew's one of the OGs. Don't we get rid of him? He's in there. We have a group. It's a very, very old group chat.
Yeah.
What's up, Stan? I always think I should have people on, and then I just forget to like invite people to come on. You'd be one to come on. Oh my god.
Yeah. We're
Why Boeing? I should have kept up with this. Is Boeing the government connection turnaround play? Yeah, maybe. I have more faith in the Boeing turnaround than the Intel turnaround.
Yeah.
It's just because Intel's stock has rebounded a little bit. That's not the point. Like,
yeah.
I have more faith that Boeing can turn around. Like, does Intel have a moat? Not particularly. I mean, there's other companies that make chips around the world. Do they have like a moat? If you're like, well, if China invades Taiwan, they have, a moat because they're here. It's like, okay. I don't think that's happening, so I don't really give a shit. Great show, guys. Let's meet Kevin some more. We already roasted him.
Yeah.
How much more do you need? Boeing can't lose. It's critical for us to have them for the win. Yep. Union's noise helped creating this opportunity. That's what I think. This will all get fixed very soon. In 2 years, we'll be back $300. Did this guy just write what I said?
Pretty
literally
much.
wrote what I just said.
Again, we'll see. There are ways that things can stay suppressed and bungled.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like, well, how am I wrong? How am I wrong?
Like right now, new CEO. So give him time.
I'm wrong if this union agreement becomes a slugfest and gets really nasty. I could be wrong if more doors blow off planes, or another shuttle issue. I guess even after they replace the guy running the shuttle or the spaceship program. So yeah, this is called investing. Shit. Okay, let's go. I'm going down. Try to get through this. Oh my goodness. You guys are too much. I appreciate it. Got it. Going 70%. He's gonna go.
That was when you
30% SoFi, 70% Boeing. What have I done?
I think that's joking around.
The U.S. isn't just buying Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read about the Chinese company that's going to build planes. I mean, that's cute. I mean, for China, okay, and then some of those countries around China, I guess they could. But be for real, it's a duopoly, like
Airbus and Boeing. Yeah.
Oh, I rode an Airbus back from Orlando on vacation. Oh, fucking smooth. They actually announced it was the newest plane in the United Fleet. The Airbus we rode. Yeah, I guess. Man, it was like this, like the Boeing we rode down there. I feel like it was going like this half the time. And then you get out of the Airbus coming back, and it's just like a pillow. It's so smooth up there. Never shook. Anytime, Dan. I know I should bring guests on. I know enough. Geez, I know pretty much a lot of the dividend people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to get them.
I will get Joseph Carlson.
Oh, there we go.
Joseph, you're my goal. You're my goal interview. I will have you come on some days.
Yeah. See, chat, there is hope. It's not just me.
Okay, I put the wrong slide up. Joseph Carlson is my Lord and Savior of investing.
Ooh, so we're going LVMH.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go
Hey.
LVMH. So this is so Boeing. I'm in. I'm invested, looking to buy more. So here's the other one, LVMH. So, this is the other one that's really retching my brain right now. And I know been talking about it. I've been talking to multiple people about different parts of it. I've actually been talking to some of the European people I know. It's an interesting point for an investment in LVMH, I think. So you get all these brands. This is old. I understand. This is from 2014. So just to show, they don't own this anymore. But which is funny because 2014, you could see the minority. They owned like 30% of Hermes when they were trying to buy them, and then it didn't pan out. I think they still own like 4%. After that failed. So very diversified company. I think we all know this. This is like one of those companies that I've always wanted to own. Once I found out kind of about it. I found out about it because the guy I interviewed on Kingdom of Finance's podcast, forgot his name now, Sagar. I forgot he turned his channel off, but he was very knowledgeable about luxury brands. So he got me interested kind of. So you got all this diversification. Oh God, what is going on? Okay. So this is just like the first half of the year, not quarterly. So we can see like some of this is not great, right? Revenue's down, recurring operations down, net profit, double-digit drop. Everything's kind of looking terrible, but everybody in this space, all the luxury brands, this has been terrible for them, which is funny because the dollar stores are doing garbage and so are the luxury brands, which is kind of, I don't know if you remember. So after the Great Recession, actually the luxury brands did okay. So it actually wasn't across the board. Luxury brands were doing fine after the Great Recession. And the poorer people are struggling. This time it's like everybody's hurt, but inflation's hitting everybody, right? So this company's in a bad place. You can look at, okay, what segments are actually struggling. This is not a surprise to me. We've talked about wine. A certain person, Andrew, was talking about the struggles of the wine industry, not just LVMH. Wine across the world is struggling in sales. So why is it struggling? Is this short-term trend, or are people literally just not drinking wine anymore? It's kind of unclear at this point. So that's a concerning part of this investment thesis. Is wine just not the drink of younger people? We don't know right now. What was it? Their wine-specific company, Napa?
Yes, yeah, that I may or may not have a bearish position on.
Yeah,
that may or may not have
company,
been working.
Seeds of doubt on that one. But you can see there are glimmers of hope, because what's nice, this isn't like Ferrari or Hermes, right? They're more diversified. So perfumes are doing well, which is Sephora mostly. Selective retail, which is like the jewelry, or no, not jewelry. Jewelry's here.
Yep.
Selective retailing, which one's that? Make sure I get it all right. Doesn't have the groups here. Oh, okay. Cruise lines.
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not across the board bad. We can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And we know this might just be macro trending for all wine. It's not. So I'm fairly confident this is not an LVMH problem specifically.
No.
It's a worldwide wine problem they're having.
Yeah.
Okay. So
pretty
now
much all alcohol.
Is that going to is that changing? Is that going to change? Is that a short-term issue? Leather goods, I feel like that is definitely that's what got hit, right? You can look at other companies like Hermes, like leather goods down because people aren't spending because inflation is hitting everybody. So there's a reason why they're at historic or pretty bad price right now. We can see. So other questions I have looking at this, they have a history, and I've listened to like the podcasts of like how the business Acquire did a episode on them. But that's a really good one too. I'm halfway through Hermes's, but so that you can see this is what they built. This is the empire that he built. This wasn't all in-house. They would buy brands. And then I thought, the more I looked into it, their advantage is they could convince that these brands, they could go to the owners and say, look, your brand will be worth more under our umbrella. So their competitive advantage was that they didn't have to overpay for acquisitions. Like in America, we've been through it, right? You and me had a company get bought from us, right? And they paid us 30, 35% over what the price of the stock was, I think, Triton Industries.
Yes.
So
And
they paid
it.
35% over what the price of the stock was.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think I guess you say for all intents and purposes, they overpaid.
Yeah. But yeah.
But so the advantage here is I would say that Louis Vuitton didn't overpay for a lot of these. And they were able to convince these people your brand would have more value under our umbrella. And then we'd give you stock and then you do well. You do better under our umbrella than separate. My question is this sustainable in the modern era? Either can the company sustain these kinds of acquisitions as part of their business? Because they haven't really done it recently. In recent times, they don't really have any acquisitions. You can see 2022 is the last one. So will they get back to acquiring other businesses? We'll see. Do his kids, when Arnold's kids take over, do they have the juice to do what he was doing with this acquisitions empire? We don't know. Because if I'm buying this is like a 20-year hold. I am not trading. This is like a freaking Cadillac stock. That's how I would view it. If you want to trade something, this is a dumb trade. I think there's better opportunities out there for a trade. So that's the questions I have for now. But margins are down, growth, different segments are doing good or bad. So people have to do their own conclusions on. I don't think this is a turnaround. This is not a turnaround. Boeing's a turnaround. Turnaround represents like something more substantial than just, inflation's hitting your customers and they're not spending as much as they used to. This is not a turnaround play. So it's just kind of, will their situation get better and improve? I think. And so part of my research, which people watching, you should probably look too, like, what are the younger people, right? I don't care about, so this is 20-year hold for me. Do the younger people appreciate these brands? Are they in favor with millennials, right? And what's before me? Gen Z, Y, Gen Xers, let's say. I don't know. Like, so younger than baby boomers. So from what I've been seeing, some of the data, they're still there. There's Louis Vuitton, right? So they're still highly considered, I think, in some of these charts. Where's the one? I had a chart for millennials specifically. I don't know where it went. I think I must have closed it. So, okay, my bad. But it seems like some of the brands under their umbrella do seem popular from what I've so far looked at. Louis Vuitton and Prada. So the other part, here's some, well, what about luxury spending amongst millennials, right? Younger people, because this is the group I think that's important. We're the people with money right now, millennials, because what are we, late 30s to late 40s? So we're in this point of our lives where people like me don't mind spending money on some luxury at this point. So I've looked at some of the research. Millennials are spending, some of the research has shown, more on luxury goods than previous generations compared to like baby boomers. So you say, what are wealthy millennials and what are they buying? Let's see. Spending on luxury versus experiences. More than half millennials purchase hotels. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Instead, millennials are prioritizing high-end. 63% purchased luxury goods in the last 12 months. So this was from a consulting firm. They're saying that millennials are prioritizing luxury goods over travel compared to like baby boomers. Okay, take it for what you want. So, but there is like, it's not like there's not like downtrending luxury spending with millennials. I would say it's either the same as older generations or maybe slightly better from what I can tell. The complex character of wealthy millennials. I thought it was kind of a clever article. Let's see, go down. How they spend. Wealthy millennials may spend a bit different. 54% putting money towards experiences, 63% splurging on luxury goods. Okay. This is what I like to see. So we're not like, I know some people think like we don't care about things. I don't know. It's easy for people to say, well, I don't care about luxury. Right? I wear like a shitty watch and crappy. It's like, okay, well, you're just some person. I mean, but the trends are looking like millennials do care about luxury goods, I think. So this is an interesting investment. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. So I know you have a position already.
And 5%, yes, yes, and it's been rocky, but I anticipated that to be the case because it based off of the collaborative efforts, it would appear that Hermes and Ferrari would be like the cream of the crop of luxury, and I have my own biases, and we all have our things that we got to work around. And LVMH seemed like a healthy, balanced compromise, given price of everything relative to its peers, and at a trade-off of, well, maybe some of the brands are more aspirational rather than like true cream of the crop, highest
Mhm.
echelon of
Yeah.
luxury. Which they still do have a footing there, of course. Not to undercut that, but so for me, I view the trade-off given the current environment as okay. I could see this thing getting uglier on me, but given the allocation, it's okay, and given the time frame, I think it will be okay. But like you highlighted earlier, this is a holding co of a whole bunch of different companies. What if
Mm.
market participants are like, no, we want to see you do the next acquisition, and it better be great?
Yeah.
Then that could bite me.
Abrams has a good point. I didn't
Yeah.
mention this. There is, yeah, I've seen it too, that younger generations are consuming less alcohol.
Mhm.
That might be part of why the wine sales are down, and spirits in general are down right now, right? So I don't. My gut tells me that trend is going to. I don't think younger people drink, um, but that's just a small part of their business. They're very diversified.
Yes.
They could spin those pieces off, I think. And that doesn't mean it's a terrible investment. So that's just one part of their business. There is interesting other pieces and they can do acquisitions. So, but that is a concern. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would not own a spirits company right now from the data I've seen. Yeah. Like a company, I don't really own beer companies. I don't think I've never owned a beer company. I don't think I've ever owned, maybe once I owned a spirit company, but I would be really concerned with some of the data I've seen that younger people do not consume alcohol like older generations. And people say, well, when they get older, they will. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. Let's see, but their cosmetics and their
Mhm.
other piece of their business are doing very well. I think the leather goods part of their business will come back.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
one I'm most sure about. And then they got the watches also. Oh, wait, did you hear Schwab split? Yes, I should cover that. Not a lot to say about that, really. I like airplanes. Who cares about VV? What is it? Oh, okay. Not talking to me. Yeah, LVO seems like a good risk to reward at current prices. I think now the question is like if you go look at Hermes, it's kind of the same situation. It's pretty much the same thesis. I think do you buy both or do you make your choice? So I don't want to cover both in this. I could cover Hermes separate, which I just watched quite a bit of content on them. I was
Yeah.
kind of
I was gonna
obsessed with
say.
the scarf. I watched like all these YouTube videos of how they make the scarves, which I think is so cool that they do stuff like that.
Mhm.
My wife's not really into it. She has her own. Um, she has Michael Kors, Coach. She does have some Louis Vuitton bags. So for guys out there, once a year, you let your wife buy an expensive purse with the provision that they don't buy purses any time other than that the whole year. That's a marriage tip. So then you don't have to fight about them bringing home $20 purses every friggin' week or two. So you'd be like, one time a year, we'll go buy you like a really nice, luxurious purse. And then after like 5, 6 years, they have a collection of beautiful designer purses and you didn't fight about it. So, and there's not a whole closet of purses that you're going to yell at her over. So to write that down. So I think that's good enough. We got to keep moving here.
Yeah.
So Bacon is in thinking about buying more, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Or you're
yeah.
just not happy with.
For now, I'm happy with it. If the price does drop more, because full and fair disclosure, I went with the F, 8 or ADR, either or. Yeah, there's a transaction cost, and I've never claimed to be anything else other than a relatively poor person, so that transaction cost kind of does matter. So
Yeah.
factoring that in, it goes lower. Sure, I'll rebump the allocation up a little bit higher, but ultimately, though, it's one of those things where like I just know that roughly 5-ish% of my port is on that, and it's one of those things I pretty much like ignore.
I think the risk return's pretty good on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think both are
Oh,
interesting
same.
opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I wouldn't necessarily
Here's the
count them
problem
out
with
either. But
YouTube finance, right?
Mhm.
People will look, and there's a very real possibility that both LVMH and Boeing could go down even more from this point.
Yeah.
And then they're going to look at my timestamp and they're going to say, "You're a clown, Dan." Right? But no one will look 2 years from now. No one knows this video exists. And that's when it's going to matter.
Mhm.
So it's just YouTube finance is kind of a weird place. And like, it's about just like meet Kevin stuff, right? Clickbaity content, but you have to like, that's just entertainment, people. Like you got to think about like the real big, like BTI, like everyone hated BTI when I bought it. I got made fun of for buying it, right? You saw how many people were mocking me and other people in the groups for buying BTI. Here we are today. I bet you they're buying it now. So what, you wouldn't buy it at 29, but you'll buy it at 39. Okay. Okay. But this is investing, right? You got to buy into the shit. Like
Yeah.
otherwise just buy an index. But I'm with Fabio. Like I'm a simple man. Like I'll buy like a $50 bottle of whiskey. So honestly, sometimes the $50 ones are better than the 100. It kind of goes up and down. Although I did have a friggin' was it Louis the 18th or something? It was like a $600 bottle with my friends. Oh my, like
What's the price?
perfection. It
Oh,
was
okay.
worth the money. I could pull. I don't have the photo. That it was the greatest whiskey of my life.
Very
Like
nice.
worth it. So I told them we got to buy it every year.
Well, people out there, if you like Dan, be sure to know what to get them.
I can't. I think I butchered what it. No, it was. It was a 30-year aged Glenfiddich. I think it was. Came in a really nice box, but so I'm gonna do more digging though. And my concerns about their business still, but
It's legitimate.
I think we got the rest of the year to think about it a bit. But with the China pop, they saw a little bit of a perk up when China popped
I
because
noticed.
of the exposure to luxury goods.
Yep.
Okay. I was going to pull the presentation up, but it's really not. It doesn't look good. The Louis Vuitton presentation kind of looks like crap. Their financials, because it's in a different format than ours. All right. So, okay, 1 second.
Yep, not a problem. While you're pulling that up, if you like the content, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Just saying this for the algo.
Okay. Jesus. Freaking shit show. Maybe China, right?
Yes. Yeah,
I
because I guess
lost
they
my
had
path.
news today.
This will be really fast.
Yeah.
Where's the one? Okay. I thought this was really interesting. So they got like a new economic leader. Got the green light fire. This is funny from this is from Barron's. A barrage of economic stimulus. The first stimulus cuts in key short-term interest rates in China, and the amount of cash banks must hold in reserve. So they changed. So they were calling it an economic bazooka. Yeah, the bazooka strategy won't work this time around. Oh, it won't. Everyone got all excited though. So basically, the Chinese government did like this huge stimulus package to their own country to try and stave off what a lot of people think is not a great situation in China due to many things, like a crappy population pyramid for strongman. So it is a rather crappy pyramid. Yeah, I like these. I like these stories. Fires policy bazooka to boost the economy. Mortgage rate cuts, property measures, all this. I'm not paying you for this garbage. You just used AI to make it. China's bold moves in years. Analysts fear they may not be enough to help a flagging economy. And then I got to pay for this one too. Come on. So this is my super like awesome opinion on China. As always, it's a joke. But if you choose to buy China invest, like don't buy one. If you want to play the Chinese, like the individual Chinese companies are pointless. It's pointless. The reason you buy Chinese companies is the narrative of China in general. This is to me, like you can fight me all you want, people, but buying individual Chinese companies makes no goddamn sense because you don't know which ones are going to do good or not. You don't. And their numbers are made up. Their numbers aren't really audited. It's all VIE garbage. So if you want to play the momentum of China, because other people think China is a good investment, so you're playing off of other people's enthusiasm about China, buy a basket of all of them. Trust me, you'll do just fine, people. Like, okay, here's a friggin' ETF, right? It spiked just fine, and you didn't have individual stock risk of the shenanigans that happened at Baba, where like the CEO just disappears. They split off the company randomly. You don't have that. So you have an ETF that's just playing China, right? Because that's all you're doing. You're playing a momentum trade on China. You're not doing more than that, even if you buy Baba, and then you're just taking on more risk. So anyways, that's really it. And I bought a 3x leverage China ETF friggin' in February when it couldn't get any worse. Every bad story after bad story, like the walls were caving in. Obviously, I don't think China's going to disappear or collapse. So I bought a 3x leverage version of it. It was kind of as a joke, but I bought it in February around 14 and a half, and I sold it at like 28. So it did really well. Mm-hmm. So I play this for what it is. The problem is these value investors want to tell you, they want to wrap Baba as some sort of value investment. It's not a value investment. It's not. You can't trust their numbers. It's just a momentum trade on the Chinese craze, because a lot of people in the world think it's a good investment because it's been depressed for a while, and they compare Chinese companies to U.S. companies. They think it's a value play because they have lower friggin' multiples. Don't do that. Like, I think you're wrong. Maybe you catch a wave and you temporarily do better than I think you will, but that's my opinion on it. Another thing. So this is a funny, so this is one company. I wanted to show this. Now, this is not even just about China. Okay, let me.
Oh.
So same company.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. So now we're going in a different idea. So this is about covered call ETFs. Perfect example of why covered call ETFs will fuck you in the end. There, Sam's going to clip that. But this is why covered call, for anybody watching this, show all your friends, because people need to see examples of why things like yield max funds, which aren't covered call ETFs, but like covered call ETFs perform over long periods of time terribly. All of them do. Why do they perform terribly? Okay, so I can tell you why, the mechanics of it, but nobody ever believes that. So let's have specific examples of why they suck right here. CLIP is a covered call Chinese ETF, and CWEB is a just China investment. So, and they're from the same company, Crane Shares. So they're probably pretty similar methodologies, except for the covered call overlay. So this is a great comparison. So on the day that everything ripped with the Bazooka, look at the difference in performance. Look at that difference. Do I have to zoom in? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
So here you go. For people, show your friends. This is why covered calls are the dumbest predatory thing on investors. Unless you're retired, maybe you need the income when you're retired. I'm talking to you non-retired people. It makes no freaking sense to buy these things. Look at on that one day you've been waiting for, right? You're a Chinese investor. You've been waiting for this something to happen for years now. Some really exciting opportunity, some rip of the stock. Okay. If you had just a Chinese ETF, you made 10%. If you did a covered call overlay, as we know, covered calls restrict and cap your upside. You don't know someday. Then this is why. Now, 10 of the, multiple times this event happens, it severely will hurt your returns. Clip got 1%, 1%, while the Chinese ETF did almost 10. You've been irrevocably damaged by this. That's another example of somebody screwing you over. So you screwed your returns lifetime, people. So if you just bought China, if you believe in China, but no, yet you want income. You want income and you screwed yourself. And this will show. This will happen repeatedly. Oh, but don't you worry. If it goes down 10%, you will experience all of that 10% down if you buy Clip. But you don't get the upside. So over life of this, you're going to get screwed. And then you're going to pay more taxes also on top of it. So here you go. This is why covered calls are dumb. I couldn't show you better myself why covered call ETFs make no sense. Isn't that beautiful? Look at it. I knew it too. When it spiked, I was like, oh, I've been waiting for this as a good example.
I also wanted to appreciate the headlines because I haven't heard Bazooka used in headlines when it comes to like anything macro since
all
like
of a sudden, everyone started saying economic bazooka.
Yeah, like
everybody.
Last time was 08 with what was it, Hank Paulson being like I think it was the Treasury Sec or Fed.
Look who's here. Bye. The chief.
Yes.
If you come into his Discord, you have to answer to me. Just got to warn you. There's been a few people in there.
I think we got one last topic because I don't think we talked about Sofi.
Yeah, Chris freaking killed it. He had like $5,000 in a Chinese ETF. So he fucking killed. So he made some good ass money on this friggin' bazooka. Chris made money on a bazooka. Army guy, appreciate that. So, you never shot. Have you ever shot a rocket launcher?
No, I haven't.
No, I did once.
No,
we went to Fort Drum. Side story. Or go ahead. I interrupted.
Oh, go ahead. Because
we went to Fort Drum one training on our annual, and they come to me because I was a platoon leader. They're like, I need like 5 guys. This guy from 10th Mountain. I'm like, what do we need? They're like, we have some expiring ammo we have to get rid of. And what's the cheapest way to dispose of ammunition?
Go for training.
It's not to dispose of it. It's to shoot it. So we go to the range. I grab one of my trucks and we go with like 5 of my guys. They had like 10,000 rounds of freaking ammo that had to get shot, like belt fed ammo for like M240 Bravos, and then rocket launchers. So we had like a bunch of rocket launchers just to blast AT. I don't know if they're AT4s. They might have been AT3s, but I shot one. So that was fun. Other than that, I only have ever done they have a dummy round one, right?
Oh yeah. There's a
you go like this and it shoots everything. It's a little
Yep.
pellet comes out. That's what you shoot normally in training. They don't normally shoot rocket launchers.
Yeah,
but anyways.
The weapon system that I wanted to fire, and I think I'm pretty sure my career field like discontinued that training decades before I was even in, was mortars. Wanted to get my hands on an M2.
Those guys get concussions.
You
heard like there's the mortar guys literally like every time it would like they would get concussions. Like those guys are in bad shape. Some of those I've heard like at the VAs. Yeah, I knew I didn't want to be like an artillery mortar guy when I was coming. I was going to be like, a logistics or a finance officer, or I think that was my only 2 choices I really thought about. I knew I wasn't going to
Smart.
be infantry. I didn't really have any interest in that. All right. I think we're at all comments. Okay.
Yep.
Last thing is SoFi.
Yeah, last thing is SoFi because I don't
This
think
is
anyone
more of
wants to hear
just to
about
make
my Air
fun of
Force
them.
stories.
This isn't really even a topic, but
No, it isn't. But dunk on them. Screw it.
I just like, I really liked, okay, no. Oh, I want to dunk on this one. Hold on.
Yeah, victory lap time. Victory lap. Let's go.
I don't know if it's a real victory lap. Victory lap would be if it went, what I think SoFi is worth $4 or $5. That would be my
Hey,
victory lap. I think it's worth
hey.
$4 or $5. So, um, Sasha video's coming. I need to work on that. Oh, I didn't. Did I save it? Oh, replies. Okay. Because you know this guy. I love this guy. Data-driven investing. I like to poke him online. He's like the Twitter SoFi guy, right?
Yep.
So let's read it. I think the people who say SoFi has no moat are wrong. SoFi's a moat. SoFi is a moat. Okay. Moats show up in data. I disagree with that. Moats don't show up in data, right? So what does that even mean? Now, bear in mind, this guy's an engineer. Okay. So but he doesn't understand that he's just looking at everything through the lens of an engineer, right? It all has to be numbers because that's what he knows. He loves numbers. He's an engineer. So the truth is moats are more than just numbers. And what numbers are you talking about? Define a moat, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's nuance. Like a moat, like, and I've done a video on what moats are. I did it a while ago. There's no science to what a moat is. It's all just, this is the art of investing, what a moat is, and what does it even matter to your investing? Like what's your definition of a moat? People have tried to define it, but there's kind of opinions on this. I don't think anyone would tell you it's based purely on data. SoFi is the only large online customer bank that's not had a quarterly deposit decline over the last several years. So that's what makes a moat. Increasing deposits of customers, that's a moat. Moat would imply that would continue forever, or we'd have pretty good assurities that it would. Next quarter, it could decline. Where's the freaking moat? They're the only ones who didn't see a significant decline in deposit growth around Q1 23 banking scare. Okay, that's one macro event that happened that they probably navigated okay. How do you know they'll navigate the next banking scare okay? You have no. So you're saying they have a moat on navigating bank scares? I'm so lost in his thought process. This guy is just like the freaking blinders. Like, I love it. The copium of these people, like, because they've been holding this pile of garbage for so long, like, and they're just waiting for it to go to $50 or whatever the hell they think it's going to do. So, oh, net interest margins is expanded. Okay, expanding margins is not a freaking moat. Okay, I have yet to see what moat we're talking about. Customer acquisition costs have decreased. Okay, they're getting better at their business. I mean, so anyways, like, so now, like, these people have to resort to stupid shit like this because their stock sucks, and they're trying to somehow, like, look at this pile of living garbage that this company is. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love how crappy this company is, and I've known about it almost 2 years now. I've been making fun of this company, and they all, "Oh, this will age nicely." That's what I get sometimes. They'll be like, "This is gonna age nicely." I'm like, "Not the way you think." But again, people, like, why do we have to keep saying this? Like, personal loans, there's no moat in personal loans. It's a commodity. My God, it's like stunningly stupid. Like, hey, Bacon, I'm SoFi. I have a moat. I'm gonna give you a personal loan at 10%. And JP Morgan's gonna give you a personal loan at 7%. But surely you'll take my loan because I have a moat, right? I have a moat, so you're gonna pay more
Oh,
because I have a
absolutely.
moat. Pay me more. It's fucking people. And did they ever think? Some of them literally like, oh my God, interest rates going down. So the personal loans that SoFi has on their books, right? They're going to go up because interest rates go down. The books, what we carry, has a higher rate, so loans are worth more. It's a genius. What do you think people are going to do when rates start going down? It's a commoditized product. Are you going to sit there for 1 second longer than you have to with a personal loan at a higher interest rate than you can refinance? Like, as soon as you find it's all who you don't give a shit where you get a personal loan from. If you have like say at 12%, as soon as someone offers you an 11%, you're going to friggin' refi it, right? And then SoFi doesn't do origination fees, which would give them at least some sort of way to navigate against people refining. Some companies do like some sort of fee up front, but the whole thesis behind SoFi is like monumentally dumb. And the company's doing what they're filling in the voids in banking that no one else wants to fill in. That it's just still that's all they're doing, people. They're filling in the voids that JP Morgans and Bank of America's don't want to fill because they're risky, crappy businesses they have no interest in. And then SoFi is just filling in all those cracks. That's all it is. And the bulls just look at the high level, they look at the top line, bottom line number on SoFi and they go, they're growing, double beat, triple beat, woo. It's like, where's the growth? Is the growth in competitive banking segments that would actually be impressive? Credit cards, mortgages? Not really. The growth is in the shitty parts of their business that you really don't want. You want to try and get out of. So, and Galileo is not getting big customers. So, but yeah, I guess this is dunking, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I enjoy when they have these spikes because you can almost see on YouTube if you actually like time their videos, they get really excited on these spikes and they're like, oh, this is our time. And then it goes down again. And then they get really excited. And then this goes down again. And it keeps happening on these YouTube channels. And they just keep thinking every one of these spikes is like their time, even though it's trending down over long periods of time. So, I love it. They get so mad. Tanner blocked me.
Hey guys.
I know. He can't take it. Hey guys. Tanner. Oh. And Gary even was like that banking guy we had on. Like,
oh yeah. I
like
Gary.
Fast growing banks don't like he literally, and he was very adamant about this. He's like banks with very like fast growing metrics. He's like, they fail. Most of the time and time again, he's seen it. Like these fast growing, they burn fast and then they're gone. Banks. So I don't know. So if I can just keep growing into the little crevices of banking, I guess for now, I guess that's what they're going to keep doing. But it's going to come back to bite them at some point. And it's just funny because like there's better investments if you like personal loans. There's better upside investments in SoFi. That's the ironic thing. You could say you do want to be in personal loan financing. There's better opportunities than this pile of garbage. Like a firm, I would have told someone all year, at some point it's going to do some sort of nonsensical spike, a firm. So you could have bought that. Let's see. Yeah. It's trending down, but then you knew at some point it would just have some sort of clownish spike because it's just a bunch of personal loans. And then certain events happen and boom, it's back. Like if you could navigate the freaking volatility, this makes more sense in SoFi a million times. Or even I think that, there's another one, but it's not mine to talk about. But I think fintech sucks anyways. I mean, Jesus Christ. You want to know like what real investing is? That's fucking real investing. Carrier. Oh, Dan, you're boring. Okay. I bought Carrier in the summer of 2022. Doubled my money. Okay. Have you doubled your money, SoFi people? No, you haven't. You're never going to double your money on it. Copium. So, yeah, this company actually makes stuff. Real things with a increasing addressable market. No, but you believe in personal loans because that'll save the world. But anyways, I would love to debate this man. I would love to debate him. Anywhere. I don't care whose channel. It doesn't have to be my channel. I'll go on whatever. I would love to debate him about this nonsense. So anyways, Ally Bank synchrony of actual earnings and the market rally put a multiple 7 on either. Why would someone pay 20, 30 times for SoFi? Because it's a finance company or a tech company, bro. I had data-driven investing finally admit because I told him, I'm like, if you apply traditional banking valuations to SoFi, it's worth $4 or $5, right? So, and I was being nice because that's like applying a JP Morgan multiple on SoFi. Let's be clear. I'm not calling it a shitco. I was applying a JP Morgan valuation and it was like $5. So his response was this guy. He told me it should be valued like a technology fintech company, even though it's a bank. So they're saying that yeah. I don't even know how to argue with that point. It's a bank. It's not a fintech. Like it's a completely irrelevant conversation. So it's got to hurt too that PayPal's actually ripping and all these people bought SoFi. PayPal's actually working out. A firm is working out. So like, even if even how shitty a fintech is as an investment, to me, they picked the wrong one, which is even better. Like, because there are some decent fintech investments, and they managed to pick the one shitty one. So because you had to buy the SPAC that has all these channels covering it. Dan Carrier is boomer stock, but 3M is a bigger boomer stock. 3M. Yeah, Nubank.
Yeah.
They all talk about Nubank now, but it's because they wish they could have bought it. I am not the person to talk to you about finance companies, to be clear. I am not a real I usually stay away from this shit. I will buy Goldman Sachs someday. Swear to God. It's my unicorn. I must own it someday. FedEx is a canary in a coal mine. If this is economic expansion, it's mostly in 4 sectors. FedEx, I think, is just a shitty operator because my dad ran a UPS store. My dad had some UPS stores before he retired. So he would tell me about FedEx. Basically, like UPS was just a superior business to FedEx in lots of ways. Like UPS had better software. The structure of UPS was just better. FedEx relies on like independent contractors to deliver stuff, whereas UPS. Oh, here's a big UPS has a unionized workforce. FedEx uses a lot of contractors to deliver stuff. UPS is a superior company in every way. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So when people say like unions hurt businesses, you're asinine basically to say something like that. So UPS is a superior company, but to buy now, I don't know. I'm too old to buy these boomer companies. Yeah, I don't know why you'd buy something like this or FedEx.
Yeah, I mean, credit to UPS though. Like, it had a lot of legitimate concerns going against it for some time, and they've managed to navigate okay.
Oh wow, they got smacked during
Oh
2020.
yeah.
Yeah, see, this is deceiving though, because if someone pulls a 5-year chart out, they go, "Oh, look, 80%. This is a great company." I'm like, "Is it really a great company?" Or if you had just bought it at 2020 when the whole world was crashing, you did really well. If you bought it any other time, like here, I mean, meh. I don't like FedEx. So I think that's it. Is that it?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think all the bases were covered.
Yeah. So we will see. LVMH, I might be joining you. I want to look a little more on some stuff. Like this is like, if I'm buying this, I'm just it's plug your nose, hold for 20 years. I've learned my lesson because like I had the TKO. I like the company.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was looking at it, and I'm like, I really like it. I like the cash flow potential, the multiple contracts. So it's not just one big contract. There's multiple contracts they're dealing with, streaming, pay-per-view. And then I got scared off by Vince McMahon. And I've like, short term, was it a big, did it seem like it was the end of the world? Kind of, right? When all the Vince McMahon sex scandals were coming out. But then it's like, you got to look forward, like a year or two from now when he's gone. Is he going to matter? No, it's going to matter who the contracts are for SmackDown, Raw, and the pay-per-view numbers and the growth of UFC. So you invest long time and you still make mistakes like this, stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is like, that's almost one thing I've been noticing lately. Like, don't make short-term issues a bigger deal than they are. But how do you know they're short-term? Like sometimes you don't know. So I think maybe obviously it's tough to say, well, it did well after. Like I probably should have just done it. I don't know why I talked to myself, because it was here. It was December and it was in the 70s. I just have
I
like 10 shares. So, but
I can tell you why I was shooken out of it. Like as far as like being on the sidelines and then like not doing it. Uh, I know it's not the only arm because UFC very important. But the wrestling business, like setting aside the Vince McMahon concerns, I had legitimate concerns about the creative and the execution of their product
mm,
because like before Vince McMahon finally got out, the product was really bad. Like we're talking
yeah,
bad creative. The camera angles were
that's
and
a risk
like
of this,
cutting
right?
was horrible. Yeah,
The
yeah,
sustainability of the brand of
hmm
entertainment. Like I
yep.
was confident in the UFC portion
Oh yeah,
would
yeah,
keep growing, which it
hmm
was growing more when I
yeah,
looked at it. The UFC was a faster growing
hmm
business. Um, but yeah, like can the WWE sustain themselves? Which the answer so far has been they're doing all right. It looks
oh yeah,
like they
yeah.
got good contracts. I haven't followed TV ratings, but they got the contracts they got for Raw and SmackDown. Man, the friggin' Netflix. I mean, obviously, if I'd known the Netflix deal was coming, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
But again, when Netflix deal came, the stock ripped. So yeah, you're paying for, the stock reflects the value you're buying. So, you
Yeah.
know, if you know that they have a Netflix deal in play, because that was an unknown when I was looking at it. We didn't know at the time who was going to get Raw.
Mhm.
And I said that was you don't know, right? If you're buying it when I was looking at it at 70s. Um, when I was buying here, you didn't know. Here, actually, this probably was when they got the deal right here. See that spike?
Yeah. I
I
want to
bet you
say
that
so as
was the
well.
dates of when they got the Netflix news for the Raw right
Yeah.
there. So this is investing though, right? The more
Mhm.
unknowns, the cheaper the stock, right? If you're buying Boeing right now, it's just a bag of dog shit questionable stuff. As things start as we start getting answers to some of these questions, if it goes positive, the stock will move up. So you have to weigh how you think they're going to do. But yeah, at this point, I just let it go though. People are, well, you could buy it still. It's like I would buy TKO under $100. If it somehow got under $100, I would. As I stand right now, I'd have to look at it again if it did get there, but I don't know. It's on my watch list. Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I really wanted it, so it's okay. I got heads up. Walmart is going down.
Woo!
What happened to Walmart? I've never owned Walmart. I don't know. I've never even thought of. Oh, the split.
Oh, for SHD and SHD.
Can I pull the chart up? Here we go. There's going to be lots of YouTube videos on this, but I think I asked somebody asked why would they do this? I think in Ryan Dangler or somebody's. The reason they would do this is because number one, these are portfolio ETFs, meaning these are literally ETFs that were designed for you or me to hold, retail people. Not all ETFs were designed for people to hold. Some of them are commercial products or day trade or products for day traders, stuff like that. These are like these ones, yeah, these are portfolio retail ETFs, which means when I say portfolio, they are prioritizing low fees, number one, and number two, they keep the share price down because a lot of brokerages do not let you buy fractional shares of ETFs, including Schwab. So, they want to keep the price down so it gives people more opportunity to buy it, right? Let's say you're putting $50 a paycheck into your brokerage account, which is probably a lot of people out there. It's probably like putting $50 a week or $100 every 2 weeks. So it's kind of hard to stay motivated if you can't buy a share every week or bi-weekly. You have to wait like for a month when it gets up higher. So these are retail products. If people are wondering why they do splits like this, that's why. So if you don't care about that, then I don't know what to tell you. It's what it is. State Street does the same. State Street does the same thing. They have portfolio ETFs. They literally say portfolio on them. Again, low fees. They don't have a lot of if you're trading options, you wouldn't buy these. They don't have a lot of option activity. If you want that, you have to buy something of more commercial product nature, like SPY. SPY is a commercial product, people. I don't know if you knew that. It was not intended to be held by retail investors. So that's why they do these splits, which is good, I think. And guess what? Splits are good. Splits show that it's a strong investment and it shows appreciation. Reverse splits show it's dog shit and you should avoid it. So pay attention. SCHD is splitting and yield max funds are reverse splitting. That's all you need to know. But I've never heard of a reverse splitting asset that is doing well. I think usually it's a sign of death. So anyways, yeah, good for me. I still say, and I know there's a few people I've talked to, this, if you're like a 20-year-old out there, guys, you can't pick, this is like the greatest, most well-constructed ETF I've ever seen. I don't think I was that strong in my review of it, but if you got 40 years on your side, I mean, this is a fantastic fund as your core, or freaking most of your, like SCHG is amazing. The construction of it gives you mid-cap exposure, some of the mid-cap, you get the higher end. Its methodology will hopefully keep like the Peloton garbage out of it, which is that's the problem with growth funds. You need a methodology that doesn't look at 1 year increments or 2 year increments of growth to put it in. You need like multiple year growth methodology to try and keep stuff like Peloton had like 1 year flash in the pan and then it's dead. So you can find growth funds that are dog shit. So just because it slaps growth on it doesn't mean it's a good fund, people. You really got to pay attention. SCHG does it right though. They nailed it. There's also a Russell 1000 growth methodology fund, which is not from Schwab. That's really good. It might be iShares. It's the Russell 1000's growth. So it's a little more mid-cap because SCHG is 750 biggest companies are where they pull stocks from. Then there's, the Russell 1000 is very similar. It's just now you're pulling more of the mid-cap out. That's another fantastic option too. I just don't remember the ticker. But yeah, this is great for people. It's just good, it's what they should do. And then you can keep, if you're putting $50 a paycheck away, you can keep buying 1 share a week. Stay motivated. So, oh my God, we went too long.
It's all good.
My voice is going now. So thank you for, that's all I got. When you got any parting thoughts?
No. Just the usual of thanks for having me on. And thank you all the viewers.
If certain thing happens Monday, we have to have victory lap. But I don't want to cover it.
Okay.
Right. Monday, though, September 30th is a very special day. I am so excited. We'll see. Maybe we'll talk about it next week if certain things happen to a certain company. But I'll save it for then. So
all good.
Okay. We will play the outro. Thank you for the super chat. Who did it?
We tarted on dividends.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Mr. Chaos, my chaos warrior brother. He's a chaos warrior. Okay. Should we end? Oh, Sofi. Every time I won't do it this time. Let's outro to meet Kevin because we talked about him at the beginning. We'll end cap him. Okay.
Sounds fair.
The point is, to me, real estate's freaking easy because I look at this stuff and I go, I know what to do. Stocks, I don't know. So don't ever expect Meet Kevin to sell you a stock investing course.